Dun, 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 dun. Okay, so there's the first phrase. Now what are we going to do as banjo players? We're going to go dun, 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 roll. Dun, 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 roll. Dun, dun, roll. Dun, dun, roll. See how that works? But we need to, as banjo players, we need to be getting these melody notes in there. Okay? So I've got to have those melody notes that I'm grabbing from my major scale. And when I combine that knowledge with what chord the rest of the band is playing, then that tells me where to put my fingers for the roll. Right? So if they're playing a G chord, I know I could just roll open strings. If they're playing a D chord, then I know I need to do some kind of version of a D chord. If they're playing a C chord, then I'm doing some version of a C. Okay, we'll get to playing here in a little bit. We're just taking some time on theory right quick. Any questions about this so far? Well, I've done it a lot, and I don't want you to have dependency on that tab. I just want you to visually see how predictable these melodies are when you compare it to what a G major scale is. It's not just, the melody notes aren't just going to fall anywhere in here. There's only a few places where they're going to fall. And there are some outliers, but they're always just one fret away from the notes of the G major scale. So it's not like you're having, the melody was right here. It was right there. It was right here. No, it's still right there, just right next door to one of the main scale notes. So it's not hard to get to. So that's why we're going to go into ear training here in a little bit, because once we have the knowledge of what the scale is, then the trick is, can you hear and find? Right? And that's where we're headed. I think that a big part of learning an instrument is having someone demystify the unknown, because that, to me, that can be really intimidating with any venture. If you're scared of what you don't know. But if somebody says, hey man, it's really not that big a deal, it's just this, then that can help us go forward with confidence. Okay, let's look at another way to play this G major scale, the very same one, but playing it in a melodic fashion. How about you take just a moment and work out playing here. Here's your right hand fingerings. So that's the index. Here's a thumb, index. You'll notice I'm asking you to play thumb on this second string up here. I want you to do that. Try playing your way back down too. As far as your left hand fingerings, if you need help with that, I play the 7th fret here. Essentially my index finger is going to be hovering over the 5th fret. So the 7th fret gets played with my ring finger. And then the 5-4 at the end, I'm grabbing it like this with 2 fingers. Good. So what I'd like for you to work on for just a bit is I want you to play through that scale and then through this scale. Play them back and forth several times. These are the exact same notes, y'all, as these. Same notes. 2 different ways to play them. Got it down? How many of you have messed with melodic scale before? Okay, a few of you, about half of you. Good. So when I first started playing this melodic, What was most trippy about it is getting higher notes on lower strings. You know, it just didn't make sense because if you come from a guitar world, you're not used to doing that. So why is this important? Because we as banjo players, we need to know that this note right here is also found where? This note right here is also found where? This note here? This note here, I didn't draw it up there, but you can find it right here. And you can find it right here. And you can keep going out, right? I can find that one 4 different places. And then, of course, our 5th string here and here. So let me give you a couple licks. Well, actually, let's talk about the pentatonic scale first before I give you some licks that I want you to work on incorporating this weekend. I'm glad that I have you from the very beginning because I'm going to give you a couple standard melodic licks. I don't know if they're part of your library right now, but I want you to work all weekend on as you're doing jams, just in break times and whatever, if you're playing with other people, which I really encourage your time here. Here's the pentatonic scale. Now what you may notice, or what you might can see, is that this part of it right here is exactly the same as what I drew here. All that I've done is I've drawn those first lowest 3 scale notes that I mentioned a while ago. This is just the mirror of this. The notes that are in red are the major scale notes that get eliminated in a pentatonic scale. So technically a pentatonic scale is just boom, 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 boom. There's 5 notes in a pentatonic scale. It starts with your root here, it's a G, an A, a B, a D, and an E. And when you get here, there's another G again. You've already gone 1 octave. So why is it important to know what a pentatonic scale is? It's because within those 90% of songs that I told you that you're going to find your melody notes in a major scale, well, within about 60 or 70% of those melody notes are going to fall in the pentatonic scale. So you're talking super duper duper high percentage. So if you look at all of your major scale notes here on the banjo, your melody notes are going to most often fall on the open strings and then on 2nd fret, 2nd fret, 2nd fret. Illustration. Amazing grace, how sweet the sound that saved a wretch like me. I once was lost, but now I'm found. 'Twas blind, but now I see. Oh, they tell me I'm home for the young spoons. Tell me I'm home for you. Oh, they tell me I'm home when the clouds rise. Oh, they tell me I'm. You could do a 9-pound hammer, same thing. You see, and I'm just playing pentatonic scale notes over and over and over again. We need to know where those other melody notes lay as well. And then a step beyond that, which you can get on throughout the weekend, is what about all these other frets in between? What do they do? Because they have purpose too. They're color notes, they're blues notes. But I just want us to have a real command over these.